Greetings, good evening. This is vk3sl. Welcome to the evening missions here on 160 metres and 2 metres. Having a few technical issues on 2. Seem to be getting a bit of crackle. Not good. I was wondering if it was the receiver, but I think it's something else. I got the hammer, gave everything the cursory tap with the hammer, hoping to awaken something or move things into alignment, but no luck. Anyhow, I wonder if anyone is listening and on to may have any thoughts about the problem. Maybe it's not happening further afield, but something that seems to be in my midst here, monitoring locally. So 2 metres with a big question mark. 160 seems to be holding up. Fingers crossed. Anyhow, it's good to be back. Hope you've all had a good week. It's been okay here. Another corona. Well, it's actually we're sort of emancipating a bit from the lockdown status, doing a lot more things, getting out a lot more, kids having friends around. It's sort of almost back to normal, really. But I have been continuing with the afternoon sessions. Hasn't been as easy because, just been a bit busy. But now we'll keep going for the next little while at least, and we'll see what happens on the approach to Christmas. I'm set to do a bushwalk in a couple of weeks, so there'll definitely be a break. Looking forward to that, and then there'll be all sorts of things happening in January, but that'll all run its course. What other news? No other news. I think it's all okay. We've got Frank coming on a bit later on, and at 12:30ish. Excuse me. I'll dial up Zoom-o-matic and hopefully we'll have a workable situation. Look forward to catching up with Frank. His choice for this week is one of the most beautiful pieces ever written. It's a fantastic choice. Now, I don't know how I'll ever do it justice, but it is something of such extraordinary, deep beauty that I look forward to. It'll be a very wonderful, reflective experience listening to interpretations. I'm going to keep you in suspense because there's a little while away. Anyhow, I better go and see what it's happening on 2. I don't know what to do. Maybe it's okay further afield, but I'm getting crackles on 2 receivers, and it's not sounding that healthy. Could be the antenna, could be the emitters. I don't know. The only thing I ever use 2 for is to do these casts. I don't have much of a presence on 2 metres. All right, we do have a 78 on the turntable, and I'll just fire up the noise reduction system so that we can make things sound half decent. So where is it? Where is it? Click repair playthrough on the PC. There we go. That's in situ. I've got the fader ready to go. Files on. I've got the remote start, which is so good. Now, this is a recording. This is the side 2 of a recording I played this afternoon, in fact. It's the Dorsey Brothers Orchestra from about 1930. And it's a Frankie Trumba tune called Tailspin. This is vk3sl, testing on 160 and streaming online. Yes, some hijinks there from Mr. Dorsey, the Dorsey Brothers Orchestra from about 1930-ish on an Old Brunswick. And testing here on 160 metres and 2 metres, I don't know about 2. If anyone can give me a signal report on 2 metres, I'd be keen to know what's going on further afield. It might be just a dud battery, but I haven't got another receiver handy. Anyhow, we'll follow on. We'll keep testing. That's what the name of the game is here. It's all very spontaneous. We don't do much. In fact, I was sitting on the couch listening to Mr. Clint. So hello, Clint. And good to hear your program. In fact, I was listening in here earlier on, the start. I was listening on the AR8, which is incredibly stable. It's amazing, that set. It's I didn't have to make many adjustments at all. So listening on the AR8 for a bit. Then I went inside and had followed on with the stream. So your streaming service is working very well. But I note you're in for an upgrade. Well, HD. It'd be good. I have listened to you quite a few times on the ATV as well. That works very well from here because I can virtually see you from the lounge room. See the ATV transmitter side. Anyhow, so yeah, right, well, we'll put another 78 on and I'll see if I can check a few more things on 2 metres and we'll slowly oil all the bearings, get the flywheel into motion, and hopefully things will start to, hopefully have a full workable situation. That'd be really good. If we can get 2 up, that'd be good. But I am not raising my hopes. All right. Jose Alvarado and his orchestra, and a recording of Chant of the Jungle, a record made in about 1929 on an old Coles Embassy. vk3sl testing. with the gong at the end. Ah, sweet distortion. How about that? The compressed carbon mic sound. And an old Coles record. Well, testing things out here. I'm going to give up on 2. Can't do much about it now. Just have to let it ride. And if you can put up with it, all and good. Otherwise, I think people will just shy away. And but that's what happens. It's all about rather fragile balance of systems here. Not sure how everything juxtaposes. We've actually done more realignments on the 160 antenna, so maybe there's an interaction. Maybe. Anyhow, we'll follow on with that. And what else? Oh, yes, I do have a Vitatonic, an associated program service disc on the Bayer. This is one of Mr. J's, and I like playing these. They're Hill and Dale, and they're Phi, and they sound terrific. So I think all we need to do is switch on the Bayer table. There we go. That's switched in, and we can just turn on the Bayer. There we go. Big click. It's very agricultural, and we'll have a listen to A Melody from the Sky from the film Tailspin. This is vk3sl testing.
Love is everywhere, its music fills the air. All nature seems to hum a melody from the sky. Over on the hill I see a whippoorwill. I hear his song become a melody from the sky. And there's a bluebird singing to his lady love above, a love song taken from the whispering breeze in the trees. Love is everywhere, its music fills the air. All nature seems to hum a melody from the sky.
We think that might be Bob Crosby's band. A Melody from the Sky. It's from the film The Trail of the Lonesome Pine. I said Tailspin earlier. That was the first record I played. It was The Trail of the Lonesome Pine. I think that featured, who's in that? Sylvia Sidney, Fred McMurray, Henry Fonda. 1936. So, yes, that's one of the Vitatone transcription records made by the Associated Program Service, and they use the most up-to-date Western Electric equipment, and we have these hi-fi recordings from the 30s, and they just sound amazing. It took a while for that one to settle down because I inadvertently had it through the noise reduction system, which is not set up for this, so that was a mistake, but quickly ameliorated things. I reckon we might hear the other track on that record. I think they're locked grooves on these. What's the other one? Oh, look, yes. Oh, look, oh, there, ain't she pretty? I think is the name of the track. So what we'll do a needle drop, and we'll check in with the other record, 33 1/3 from 1936, vk3sl, testing. Go, Hi-Fi from the 1930s. Just been listening to what we think is Bob Crosby's band on a Vitatone transcription record, played on the Buyer, Hillendale recording from 1936. This is vk3sl. We're testing here on 160 metres, and we'll fade that one out. Yeah, testing on 160 and 2, but 2 does sound pretty crappy. Something's wrong. I know. I can't do much at this point. I'll keep checking in between, but I'll switch it off if it's a big problem. So, yeah, anyone can give me a SIG report, that would be good. Okay, well, what else? Mr. H has just been in touch with me, and he's suggested that I play some Collier, some Jacob Collier. He's just put out a new track. So, I'd like to feature that. So we'll find it. It's on the list. And it's a Christmas special with Mr. Collier. Where is it? It's gone for a disappearing act. Here it is, the Christmas song. It's not Christmas yet, but we'll still feature this, and we may play it again closer to the time. But it features some of his wonderful use of close harmonies, microtonal harmonies, and It's particularly adventurous. It's wonderful, really. He does amazing things, Mr. Collier does. So we'll enjoy some of his latest. And the video hasn't come out yet, but the audio has just released today. The Christmas song, Chestnuts Roasting on an Open Fire, Jacob Collier. This is vk3sl testing.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire, Jack Frost nipping at your nose, Yuletide carols being sung by a choir, and folks dressed up like Eskimos. Everybody knows a turkey and some mistletoe will help to make the season bright. Tiny tots with their eyes all aglow will find it hard to sleep tonight. They know that Santa's on his way. He's holding lots of toys and goodies on his sleigh, and every mother's child is gonna spy to see if reindeer really know how to fly. And so I'm offering this simple phrase to kids from 1 to 92. Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas to you. Simple phrase to kids from 1 to 92. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. Simple phrase to kids from 1 to 92. Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas to you.
How about that? Wonderful. Jacob Collier's latest release, the Christmas song, and chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Whoops, there we go. Monitoring. Yes, it's a harmonic wonderland. Well, I think I've dropped off too. Still trying to work out what it is. It might be the compressor, or it might be the graphic equalizer. I'm not sure. That's going to be quite a job sorting that one out. So, not good. But that's the way it goes here. It's all, yes, all very unknown. Oh golly, let's see what else. What do we have on the list? I was also interested in Henry. If you're still there, might be interested in this. This is a Japanese artist I featured earlier in the week, Ryo Kawasaki. He was a fusion jazz rock musician and guitarist, and he's responsible for the synthesizer guitar. Now, he was quite popular in the 70s, made quite a few albums until recently. He just passed away a few months ago. Actually, less than that, quite recently, at the age of 74. Now, I featured one of his albums, Juice, from 1976 earlier, and so I reckon we'll sample a bit more of that. So let's hear a few tracks from Juice with Ryo Kawasaki. This is vk3sl testing. It's VK3SL. We're listening to the music of Ryo Kawasaki. I think I've got 2 meters going. Yes, it was it's the big one. The big one has failed me. The old 3CR big one compressor is not doing what it should. So I've bypassed it, and so we haven't got as much compressione on 2, but hopefully we've got a robust signal that should hold up. Okay, so I'm feeling a bit relieved. So let's continue with Mr. Kawasaki for a little bit longer, and then shortly I'll send out a note to Frank, and we'll see what's happening on our special playlist. vk3sl testing. fusion styles from Japan. We've been listening to the music of Mr. Oh, here we go. Got a bit more. Mr. Kawasaki, Ryo Kawasaki. They're so cool, these recordings. They're so funky. We featured half of this album a few nights ago, and I'd like to follow up with more of his music. It captures my spirit. That's great. Well, we'll do a fade though, I think. I've sent you a link there, Frank, if you're listening. You've got a link so we can get going fairly soon. But I did also have something else lined up. And it's a recording of the Swingle Singers, a live TV performance with the Swingle Singers. And we've been playing a lot of transcriptions of Bach's music this week. A lot of Stokowski and about a whole evening of piano transcriptions the other day. A whole CD. That was quite interesting to hear, actually. Anyhow, I enjoy Bach in all its permutations. So let's have a listen to a remarkable performance with the Swingle Singers off TV, so it's very heavily compressed. And it's the Partiita number 2, the Symphonia, and their arrangement of that work. A recording from 1969, the Swinger or Swingle Singers. vk3sl testing. Well, that's something extraordinary. No, I think it was Claudine Monnier who's the main singer who sang the big scat line there. And I want to find more about her because I think she's got extraordinary qualities as a musician. Perfectly in tune, and in fact the whole group just rings. Incredible stuff. Well, I see Frank's on the screen. Good, I'll have to push the admit button. Oh, I've got to... I'll queue up a chapel disc. That's what I'll do. Yes, we've got yes, it's one here. It's all ready to go. So with the hue and cry, I think it's called, we'll push this on and we will admit Frank into the room very soon. This is vk3sl testing. And welcome, Frank. Can you?
Good evening, Steve.
Hello. we have to welcome you with a chapel disc each week.
As John Laws would say, hello world.
Yes, that's right. Well, we've got 2 meters on, so we've got part of our world back.
I've been monitoring 2 meters.
Okay.
And as you say, I didn't get any crackle at any point.
Okay.
You were reporting.
Oh yes.
You're hearing some crackle. I don't think that was going to air.
Yeah,
but,
right. Okay.
You did lose audio at once, big time.
Yeah, I switched it out, and then and then I suppose. Well, I was getting a lot of extra noise, and in here, and I thought, oh, we'll just I did some patching, and I've worked around the compressor, and it seems to be sounds much better in here. So maybe there's some interaction going on. Anyhow, that's okay. It's working, which is the main thing.
I'm listening on 160. It's coming through beautifully.
Oh, good. I'm good. I'm pleased it's working well. Well,
we just say hello to some of our friends.
Of course, absolutely.
To Clint, who said he would listen.
I heard him mention that. So hi, Clint. It's good. That
hi, Clint.
I listened to most of the program today, so that was all. Very
He does a great job just finding riveting articles all the time.
Yep.
Just great stuff.
Yes.
And to Jamie.
Yes, absolutely. So a warm hello to Jamie. And played one of Jamie's discs earlier on, one of his Vitatonics, and we look forward to having you back into the fray, Jamie. I know you're super busy at the moment, but it'll happen sooner than later, I'm sure. Yeah.
A Christmas function where Jamie and I will be crossing paths in person, so that'll be good. That's coming up in the next week or so.
Oh, good. Excellent. Good.
And also hello to Mr. Stu, if you are able to hear us.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
You probably get it on. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. In fact, we had a good chat with Mr. Stu on 80 metres the other day, and it was all working very nicely.
Certainly did. So keep well and take care, Dave.
Yeah, definitely. And Wayne might be listening, so hi to you, Wayne.
Wayne, always hello. Yes, it's a shame we can't talk to Wayne. But, maybe sometime in the future.
I think we might be able to do something with Zoom. It's probably not that difficult.
If he's interested to do that.
Yeah, that could work. So that would be another possibility. And of course, Mr. Fleming always listens. So
always listens, yes, indeed. He's a good supporter, indeed. It comes up with great ideas from time to time.
It does. Look, his idea this week of playing that Deborah by Handel, that oratorio,
superb.
Was a fantastic idea.
I think I told you I was actually listening to that when it was on Radio National.
Wow.
On ABC FM. Sorry.
Okay, so you actually heard it live. Wonderful. Yeah.
I often listen to that program.
It's great. It's a wonderful program. It's sort of reinvigorated my interest in it. I'm going to sort of tune in again. I religiously listened to it for years and years, and then in recent times it's fallen away. But I'd love to hear it again. But you can time shift it, of course, now, so that's a good thing. So,
yes, it is. Yes,
yeah,
it's on at a bit of an awkward time for me. I tend to spend later Sundays with with the family, such as
Sure.
And same with Saturday nights. That's one reason I don't get on Saturday nights.
Yeah, fair enough. That's it. Well, it's good that all those Radio National programs are time shifted now, so you can listen at your leisure, and it sounded very good. So I actually previewed it earlier on inside, and it sounded fantastic. So it was good.
There are lots and lots of Handel operas and oratorios. Lots of them.
Yeah. I didn't realise he wrote so many. I think he wrote something like 30-odd oratorios.
It's a huge number, and some of them are very long.
Yeah, right.
I have a Jewish friend who's Orthodox Jewish, and so he doesn't look too kindly on Messiah.
No,
understandably. But he said,
"I'm sure he likes the tunes, though. He has to like. He
likes the tunes, yeah. But he said, Messiah is all very well, but he said there are these other oratorios like Israel in Egypt. He said it's just as good. He said, I'm not sure.
I think there's something
I'm so inured to the Messiah, I can't really sort of view it objectively anymore.
Yeah, I'm the same. I can't either. It's just such a work. I mean, it's just so inspired. Every melody is enduring, and I don't know. It's something extraordinary about that work. And look, Deborah, and particularly in the third act, it had some beautiful melodies, had some really lovely tunes. And,
that was where we came in, to be honest. That was really the only one we heard. And it was very, very arresting, wasn't
it? Yeah, absolutely it was. So it sort of got me, a bit more excited. I'll definitely listen to that show and get some more ideas. So thanks, John. I appreciate that. That was a really
double
good
from me.
Yeah. So good news about Mr. Watkins. I was trying to find out if Kay McLennan's still around, but there's no...
I hope you can. No sign?
No sign. I can't see her mentioned anywhere. She's mentioned in a few anthologies and things, but not in any contemporary literature. So
I used to really like her.
Yeah.
She had this lovely sort of ecumenical approach to choosing her material, and she'd mention all the big Muslim holidays and the Hindu holidays, and it was very, very inclusive.
I think she was, and it was very worldly, and she didn't take herself too seriously. There was a certain sort of... I loved her sense of humour, her wacky humour.
Little tongue-in-cheekness there.
There was all the time. It was great. Yeah. Anyhow, so I refer people to that program we're talking about. It's For the God Who Sings, and it's on a Sunday night, and it's on Radio National. It's on ABC FM, I should say.
That was my mistake, so I've led you into that.
No, it's okay. No, it's fine. And it's worth listening to. I mean, even if I'm not religious at all, but I just love the music. And
same.
Yeah, and it's beautiful music from that tradition, from the great choral tradition, and it's otherworldly. It always transports me somewhere emotionally.
He plays some interesting modern choral stuff too.
It's
not all
it's true.
Baroque.
That's right, exactly. He does. There's a lot of contemporary choral music as well, but it's beautiful. It's well chosen, and and the themes endure, and it's a beautifully packaged program.
Yeah, it is.
It's great. So all right. Well,
now just the highlights of tonight so far for me. 3 highlights.
Yeah,
we've got the Tommy Dorsey, which I always love to hear Tommy. The Mr. Kawasaki.
Yes. Oh, that's right. The Dorsey one was actually the Dorsey Brothers Orchestra, which is interesting.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah, because
before they broke up.
Before they broke up, they actually had a band together for a while, and then they went on their own ways. And I think it was a fairly public breakup, and
I think so.
But for a short time they actually had a band together, and that's from that period. So, and had some pretty amazing, particularly sax solos in that recording. So we heard both sides, one this afternoon, one tonight.
Excellent. And Mr. Kawasaki, as I said,
I like that music. Yeah,
that's great, isn't it? It's frenetic.
It is. Did you know of him much?
No,
I didn't at all.
No, I did know of the guitar synth.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
As a concept and as a realistic thing.
Okay.
I haven't seen one, but quite a few guitarists use them.
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
And And of course the ultimate highlight was Mr. Collier, as he always is.
Yeah, tremendous. I was a little bit distracted because I was doing all my 2-metre patching when that was on, but I did sample it earlier on, and that just came out today. So we'll feature it again closer to Christmas time, I think. But remarkable! I mean, it's just so much interest, so much harmonic interest, and just all the colours. Oh, it's arresting.
I know.
It's fantastic. It's wonderful stuff. Yeah, so Jacob Collier. Yeah, but I want to explore Mr. Kawasaki more. I like that fusion style, and it's got interesting textures, and it's of its time. And I was reading about him, and he only passed away very recently. And this great footage of him on stage he had long white hair right down his back, and a Japanese white goatee beard, and he just looked so cool. And he was still going strong doing these stuff. So, but he's put out many albums over the decades, and it'd be good to sort of trace his music a bit. And that's one of the early ones. Juice is one of the earlier albums.
It certainly was. Look, the other thing I meant to mention, of course, which I should not leave out, was the Swingle Singers, which are quite a remarkable group.
They are. They have an incredible togetherness, don't they? They're like the Boswell sisters.
Totally. And that girl, as you say, I can't remember her name.
Menier, Claudine Menier. Now, I've sort of ballparked her name because I want to find out more about her.
Yeah, she is amazing with that. She is so in tune.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And her rhythm is beautiful, and she just does it really well.
She does. I wonder how she... I was watching her sing, and it just seemed to be just such a natural expression. But there's complexity in all that scatting, and is she sort of just improvising, or has she worked out all those scat vowels? Has she sat down and maybe
worked them out?
She must have.
I reckon she's worked them out. I don't think you could have that precision. See, if you're going to scat in the generally accepted term where you do improvise, it's got a sort of a looseness about it.
Yeah, it does. It does. But this
is tight as.
It is. You're right. You're absolutely right. It is. It's so slick. But it looks like she's making it up because she's just sort of she's just so whimsical in her approach, and they're just such a refined group. That's off a TV special. Oh, I love them. I think they're amazing. So there's another group I want to follow. This is good. So I'm discovering all these new things. I knew of the Swingle Singers, but I just didn't know they were that good.
That's right. Yeah. And that reminded me of another thing I wanted to mention, that in terms of Bach and other people playing with Bach.
Sure.
There's a really good modern jazz quartet album called Blues on Bach.
Oh, Blues on Bach. Now, I think we've featured some of this, Blues
I think you might
on
have,
Bach, but I'm going to write it down again and check it out because I'm back in the Bach transcription mode, looking for examples. And over the course of the week, we played quite a few Stokowski transcriptions.
Yes, I know. I've been enjoying them.
Including that epic Passacaglia and Fugue in C minor, that massive organ work, and it's just it's larger than life. It's incredible.
It is.
It just has these wondrous orchestral sounds, and he's luxuriating in everything. I just love it. And there was I can't remember the guy's name, Charles Ferguson, I think he is. I've got the CD here. It is. It's a Living Era CD. Whoops, my headphones are caught on the chair. Sorry. Here it is. Gordon Fergus Thompson, and playing Bach transcriptions.
Oh yeah, what a pianist.
Yeah, he was great, wasn't he? And he played the Busoni, the famous Busoni Chaconne, and also the Toccata and Fugue in D minor, those arrangements.
That was terrific. And didn't he made the piano sound like two pianos? It was just,
he did.
Especially with a heavy bass.
I know, he did.
Left hand, he must have a very strong left hand.
He must. You know, he played those remarkable. I mean, they're notoriously difficult, but there's those Busoni transcriptions of
there
Bach,
must be.
And very few people tackle them, and he did a great job with them. And also, it was lovely to hear the "Due Joy of Man's Desiring," the Dave Myra Hess version of that.
Superb.
And Rachmaninoff's partita, he did a transcription of the partita in E major.
That's a terrific. It must be a terrific album. I mean,
it's great.
It's a vinyl album, isn't it?
It's a CD. It's a CD came out for ASV. Yeah, I picked it up at Discurio, I think, in the early 90s.
Oh, it's terrific. Every track was just amazing, wasn't it?
It was really good.
Is there any more of it that you haven't played yet?
I played the whole thing the other day.
Yeah.
So that's it. But I'm always open to any other transcription material of Bach's music. I think it's great to hear how people pay homage to the great master.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It's impossible to wreck it anyway, isn't it?
Well, it sort of is. You're right. You're absolutely right. You can't. and with our feature piece tonight, I was trying to find some pretty out there performances of it, and they all sound good. No matter what people do, they all sound good, and they've all got their own life. So that brings us to our topic. Now you'll have to. I don't know how to introduce this one, Frank. It's just...
Well, it introduces itself almost,
but
doesn't it?
It does, really. And look, it's from Sir Matthew Passion, but yeah. And so do you can... do you know the... I think is it... what's the story in the Bible?
It's a cry for mercy, I think. And
yes.
I think it is Saint Peter.
It's Peter, isn't it? That's what I was trying to think.
It's Peter who Christ predicted to him, according to the story. Christ predicted to him shortly before the crucifixion that Peter was saying how much he loved Christ and that he would do anything for him. And he said, Christ said to him, Peter, you will deny me 3 times before in the next day.
Yes.
And sure enough, that's what happened. 3 people asked him, did he know? Did he know Christ when Christ was copying it from the executors?
Yeah.
And 3 times he said, "No, I don't know him at all," and completely sort of dismissed him.
Yeah.
And then it hit Peter that he'd done this all of a sudden, and Christ's words came flooding back to him, and he was just in a state of despair. And this aria picks up on that despair.
Yes, it does. I've got the words of it here. I just found it in the little booklet here of the. It's preceded by a recitative, and the recitative is, "Then began he to curse and swear, saying, I know not the man. And immediately the cock crew, and Peter remembered the word of Jesus, which said unto him, Before the cock crow, thou shalt deny me thrice. He went out and wept bitterly." Now, this recitative has got this is just before the aria. It's got the most glorious word painting by Bach. He does this chromatic, with the word wept, he does this sort of, it's just amazing. The way he uses chromatic writing to capture the emotion of weeping and bitterly, and then the aria itself follows on, and as you mentioned, it's "Have mercy, Lord, on me, regard my bitter weeping, look at me, heart and eyes both weep to thee bitterly," and that's the famous aria we've been talking about, and this is what we're featuring today on the missions. Well, look, I think, Frank, what we can do is play. I've got on the turntable the recording that I grew up with. Are you still there? Maybe we've lost you, Frank.
Hello?
Hello, you there? Hello? I can hear you, or I heard you briefly. And maybe you've got a mute issue or something. I wonder. Okay. Well, you came in for a moment and then disappeared again. So...
Hello,
yes, you're back again. There we go.
I don't know. I did nothing. I don't know. That happened spontaneously.
That's interesting.
I wasn't playing with my buttons or anything.
No.
Nothing.
Oh, okay.
So
maybe
that's a bit of a worry. But anyway, all's well now.
Well, we've got you back. Did you get the gist? I was just mentioning before that
yes.
I've got the album of the version that I grew up with, which is an errata recording, and it's with... it's the whole Passion, of course, and about a 4 LP set, and it's let's see, who's it with? It's the Robert Meyer School Heidelbrunn, and Fritz Werner is the conductor, and it features Agnes Giebel, the soprano, the Renata Gunther, is the contralto in this. Helmut Krebs.
I don't know her.
Yeah, Helmut Krebs is the evangelist. Well, look, I'll play this version to kick off because it features the recitative. Now, listen to just the very end of the recitative where when he says, The evangelist said he went out and wept bitterly. It's just glorious word painting, and then that leads into the aria itself, which is very beautifully sung. It's a very straightforward performance of the work. So
Yes.
we'll have a listen to that now. So I think people will know it, will recognise it instantly, but it is perhaps one of Bach's most humble, most beautiful, timeless melodies he ever wrote, and it's something extraordinary, really. So let's see how this goes.
Ich kenne des Menschen nichts. Und alsbald krähten ihr Hand. Da dachte Petrus an die Worte Jesu, da zu ihm sagte, ehe der Hahn krähen wird, wirst du mich einmal verleugnen.
and we might just listen to the chorale.
Yes, good.
Okay, I'll fade out the...
Yes.
So this just gives a bit of context. The chorale, that was Lamb of God, I fall before thee, humbly trusting in thy cross, that alone be all my glory, all things else I count but loss. Jesus, all my hope and joy flow from thee, thou sovereign good, hope and love and faith and patience, all were purchased by thy blood. So that just gives bookends or contextualises the aria in question, Barmatik. So, yeah.
As
I'll just take
the
record off.
that was lovely. The recit at the end, at the end of that recit was beautiful. The little dramatic fall.
Yes, yes, yes. It was. It was quite an expression of that bitterness in the weeping. It was beautifully. There are so many subtleties in this music like that, and Bach obviously wanted to find very personal and direct ways to enhance the text. And
I think there's a lot of that going on, in the cantatas, but of course we don't pick them up readily because of the language.
That's so true. It's so true. I mean, and of course, being in German and it's very, very particular to certain words, and often in the translation, you lose that the words are not in the same place anyhow. So it's completely lost, really, unless you speak the language. Yeah, it's true. And even when you hear works sung in English, when they're originally written in another language, and same with opera, the context is not quite the same, and the word painting, some of its significance is lost, I think.
Yes, when you're trying to do extreme subtleties, it's very difficult, isn't it?
It is. But it's full of... I remember, I think we studied this at uni, and or this part of this of the St. Matthew Passion, and I remember it was just everywhere. The way the harmonic settings, it all had significance. Everything was about the text, and in a very, very personal way, Bach was, embracing the fullness of the story.
Indeed.
So it's something very special. Yeah. But it's glorious, isn't it? So that was Renata Gunther. I don't know anything about her. I just played it because it was an LP I had here, and it was the one I grew up with. It was my grandfather's LP.
Yes, lovely. But it's very nice. Indeed.
So what did you grow up with? What was the first version that you heard?
I'm just trying to remember. I heard it at school, at primary school, but I can't remember who played it, really. I remember it being in mono.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
And I remember liking it a lot. But I don't. I can't really. I would have been told who did it, but I can't remember.
Okay, that's fine. No, look, it's interesting to. I mean, there were a number of recordings put out in the. I was reading the history of recordings of this work, and it was first recorded in 1930 and then 35. And those recordings are not in the public domain, so there must have been sort of specialist subscription type things. And I'd love to hear them, but I just can't find it. I can't find
Very
any.
hard to.
Yeah, there's no access to them. They haven't been re-released anywhere. But there's the most famous the first famous one was with William Mengelberg and the Amsterdam group, the Gewandhaus Orchestra, Concertbau Orchestra, in 1939, and that sort of put it back on the map in terms of people, listeners on there to recordings, and so that's an interesting one. Now, the controller on this recording is Iona Dorigo. Now, I was trying to find out a little bit about her. She's sort of a product of another time. She was born about 1880. And this is towards the end of her career. Because the work, I mean, I hate cutting it short, but the thing is, we will be here all night.
Yeah, sure. I know.
It's a tricky one, isn't it?
I always wonder when I select these things that are long, whether I'm doing the right thing.
No, you are doing the right thing, because I think it's just a sublime piece of music, and it has to be addressed. And I'm really pleased. While everything's working, this is the one piece we really should be listening to and talking about, because it's something so special. So what I might have to do, it's a bit sacrilegious, but just for some of these these other performances which are interesting for one or two reasons, maybe we'll fade it in, and then I might play a couple of full versions later on. But so maybe this one, I'll just bring it in towards the end. But it's interesting because it's that era when they took extraordinary liberties with Bach's music, and so the word painting is more in the reflection in slowing things down, giving you pausing for thought.
Yes.
And but it's quite a different aesthetic. It's slow, and it's interesting. So see what you think of this. This is with that Iona Dorigo, and I think she's Hungarian, and I don't know a lot about her. I think she was mainly. I don't think she sang a lot in opera, but perhaps in oratorios and concert works like this. So let's have a listen to the last bit. There you go, from a live performance in 1930. I didn't, with the poor singer, I didn't give her much of a Guernsey there.
Oh, well, I got the idea.
You got the idea.
She sounded pretty good.
She did.
Pretty good, I thought.
Yeah, very full voice. And,
full voice, yes.
Yeah, and
plenty of volume and plenty of richness.
Yes,
tone.
definitely, and lots of rubato. And the violin playing, it's so interesting, that aesthetic of speeding up towards the top of a phrase and then slowing right down and upward and downward slides, portamenti.
Yes, a lot of sliding. It's very easy to overdo the sliding, isn't it?
Well, it is, and it sort of doesn't. It just doesn't sit comfortably with our modern ears at all. But at that time, that's the way they did it. I don't know I don't know what they would have done in Bach's time, but probably not. I think it's more of a sort of a...
You wouldn't think that he'd welcome to, but a certain amount. Tasteful sliding is lovely, of course.
Yes, it is. So that was, I don't know who the fiddle player on that one was, but it's probably the concertmaster of the Concertgebouw Orchestra in 1939. Whoever that was.
It's a Dutch orchestra, isn't it?
Yeah, in Amsterdam.
Is that right?
I think so. Yes, I think you're right. So anyhow, there we have it. That was Iona de Rigo. You only heard her sing about 3 notes, but
wow,
but very slow. And I find it interesting to hear the slow, because it has a very different feel, and and that was particularly slow. But the pulsing, I thought, was had a lot of weight, and I think that weight in the pulsing makes it feel very, I don't know, it creates that sense of foreboding, or not foreboding, what's the word? Yeah, that deep sadness.
Sort of just despair almost.
Yes,
really.
It is. Yeah, I think so. And but I think that speed and that measure is really effective in capturing that emotion. But so there's a few others, so we can go for a ride. Oh, look, I heard some sort of quite interesting COVID expressions as well. There's this one fellow here, I just want to play a bit of this, because this chap has put up his own little COVID expression. He's playing it on the piano accordion.
No. Why not? Look, if that's your instrument.
It is, but he does a damn good job. And he's just recorded it. It's some Eastern European dude, and he's just recorded in his lounge room, and I just thought it's quite effective. Have a listen to this, see what you think. I'll play a bit of it. I sort of don't want to fade him out. He's doing such a beautiful job with it.
But he did a very good job, didn't he?
Isn't that wonderful? And even the suspensions are really captured superbly.
He's got his phrasing beautifully.
He does it really well. He makes the instrument breathe, and it takes a really good accordion player to not sort of surge and make you seasick. And he did.
Yeah, I've never heard that description, but that's exactly right.
Yes, there is a certain
So some of them seem to be governed by the demands of the instrument when you've got to push and pull.
Yes, exactly. Yes, so it has these sort of ralphing or surfing something. I don't know. It can be a little bit chunderous, but that wasn't. He played that beautifully. It was a very crafted performance.
I couldn't fault it in terms of the technique.
Yeah,
and it sounded as good as accordions sound.
Yes, an older gentleman just in his lounge room sitting with the accordion, and someone filmed it, and it says it was
more power to him. That's lovely.
Definitely. And he recorded this because of the COVID-19 virus. He said.
Oh, good on him. Good on him.
Yeah, he's so
very, very, very nice.
Yeah, so that's good. Well, we're speaking of really slow versions. Now, there's one that really, just blew my socks off. And it's someone you wouldn't really imagine singing this, and that is Kirsten Flagstead made a recording of it.
No, I couldn't off the top of my head.
This is just extraordinary. I just think this is, for me, something so remarkable. Now, she takes it very slowly, but she has so much power in her voice that she's just able to ride over the phrases and just create this liquid sound with a big voice, but not overdone. She's not sort of giving it the Wagnerian treatment.
No, that was my instant sort of response to trying to imagine Wagner's sort of interpretation.
Yes. In fact, I thought that too. When I saw her name, I thought, hello, what's this going to sound like? But look, she sings it. She sings it really sensitively, beautifully.
Well, now, look, she did the same thing with the When I Am Laid in Earth, of course.
Oh, she did too. That's right. Yeah, Kirsten Flagstead made a recording of that too.
It was beautiful.
It was. Well, look, I think
we played that the other day.
We did. That's right. Thanks for reminding me. Yeah, that's right. Kirsten Flagstead. Well, look, we'll hear again, and I will play the whole thing because it's
please.
It really. I think this is just superb, and she's able to really. Just through her consummate musicianship and her amazing technique, she's able to just create these wondrous big long phrases, and it really elevates the work, I think, and it captures that what we're trying to talking about before, that deep despair and that heartfelt tension. So let's have a listen.
Wow.
Yeah. How about that for a lofty performance?
Oh, what a voice.
Extraordinary voice. And she really brought those high points in the phrases. She just made them just elevate, didn't she?
She certainly did.
Yeah.
I bet she's a very big woman. Have you seen it?
I've seen pictures. Yes, she is. Yes, she is.
She has to be. It's just that voice. I mean, that's nothing like a criticism. It's just that she.
No, that's right. No. She's just got that. It's got body to it. Everything about the sound is well set and full blooded. And I think that's her physicality as well. She's a big woman, very big face, and a big resonator. And but look, I just love the way she phrased it. Now, what was interesting about that performance too is it still had momentum. The harpsichord, because I think first of all, I think it's in compound duple time. I think it's in 6/8 with. But the
very slow 6/8. Yes,
it was.
Yes,
what the harpsichordist was doing was playing a chord at the beginning of each group of the each of the duple emphasis. So I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he was playing at the beginning,
counting to 6, and then.
Yeah, at the beginning of 1 and 4. So what he was doing was he was just playing on those agogic points, and it kept things moving despite the very slow tempo. And I thought that was very clever, and it also highlighted the sort of the spirit, the agonising aspect of it. There's something so deeply sad. It's amazing.
I use the word despair is probably not the ideal word, because he didn't despair. Because he had this relationship still that could save him and did save him.
Yes, that's right. I'm struggling to find the word for the emotion. It's something to do with a reverence, but also a sense of self-betrayal or something as well.
He feels so bad about himself.
That's right. So,
you can get the sense of him being almost distraught, really, can't you?
Yes, I think so. And so particularly in the performance of that tempo, I think it really brings out that weight and that sense of deep personal reckoning or something. So anyhow, look, it's good. I was blown out of the water when I heard that performance.
It's wonderful.
Our poor family, Kate and I, were listening to these over dinner time, and the kids were sort of rolling their eyes. Oh, not another one.
How many more have you got?
Yeah, it was met with a few protests, but but we stood our ground.
I'm very keen to hear more of Kirsten, but the trouble is, I'm not a Wagnerian aficionado, I'm afraid. I don't. I could appreciate Wagner if I spent the time and I had the instruction on what it was all about, I think. It's very hard.
It is. You basically got to devote your life to it.
I think so.
And because you have to, because it's so it's so caught up in Wagner's own mythological world, and of course he wrote the texts for his operas as well, for the librettos as well. So everything, and talk about word painting. Well, I mean, Wagner used leitmotifs everywhere, but it's so integrated, and it's like you basically have to devote just ridiculous amount of time to, and I think it can be very rewarding. Some people find it, but I couldn't have patience.
Nor me. I mean, life's too short, really. I think.
It is. I've got too many diverse interests, and you usually find Wagnerians don't listen to much else.
They haven't got time.
They haven't got time to do it because the music is so. It's its own veritable universe, really. So, but look, definitely Kirsten Flagstead, she's a great artist, and I'd like to hear her sing Baroque music more. This is what I'm quite interested in, and after last week's example, and this as well, I think it's really interesting to hear her, and because I love her sense of line, and and she's got enough power in her voice to really open up at the tops of phrases. She's incredible voice control, absolutely unbelievable. No, you don't hear her taking breaths at all.
No, and and her upper register's lovely as well. She doesn't strain or lose tone or anything.
No, not at all. It sort of opens up. And that's what I love about it. I love a voice that keeps going.
Yeah, that's right.
And,
not all contraltos can do that.
Very rare. And to really have that sort of open quality. So, yeah, look, that was quite special. That was a discovery for me. I had no idea about that before. I didn't even know it existed, that recording. So
wonderful.
That's nice to hear. So
now, one thing I wanted to ask you was that in your searches, did you come across any countertenors? Lots. But sorry. Yeah, no, I don't want you to blame me.
Lots. I'd say 2/3 of the recordings out there are countertenors. So look, if people are interested, there's a lot to be had there, and a lot of very baroque interpretations with much faster interpretations of the work.
Yes.
And but to me, countertenor sounds a bit anemic. Although
that's right. I try to use nice words.
Yes, I'm afraid so. It's just my prejudice.
I think that the warmth of the woman, and as you say,
absolutely,
the coldness,
I know there's a male singing that it just doesn't work for me at all.
No,
there's something more universal about the sound of a woman's voice singing an aria like that. Now, speaking of such, here's another extraordinary interpretation, which I had no idea. This has been a remarkable process. I've really enjoyed this. And here's a performance of Marian Anderson singing it live.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, in 1946, I think it is. And
were you surprised that she could do it well?
Yeah, and I think she does it really well. It's wonderful.
I wouldn't be surprised myself, to be honest.
Yeah.
Lovely voice.
Yeah, she does.
Lovely, rich contralto, deepish contralto voice.
It's something really felt about this, and I think she brings her own humanity to the performance, being a black American and a persecuted black. I mean, she couldn't even sing at the Lincoln Center. This is the time when she was... through racial stratification, she wasn't even able to sing at venues. It's crazy stuff,
That is just so bad.
It is. It's just, I can't believe it.
It happened a lot to jazz musicians, of course.
Yeah.
But you'd hope that you'd sort of expect that the classical people would, I don't know.
Yeah.
There's something about it. Jazz was regarded as pretty sort of on the edge, second rate anyway. So
I think and I think there's a lot of sort of deep prejudice with the fact that jazz music came from the South, and it came from that tradition that in itself set up a lot of prejudice.
A barrier,
it did, but being the common person's music and all that sort of stuff.
So given all of that, and you've enunciated it very well, you'd hope that wouldn't apply so much to classical singers, but apparently it still did.
Yeah, unfortunately it did. And it's just, it says here she was denied the use of the Constitutional Hall by the Daughters of the American Revolution. Yeah, because of her race. I mean, it's just unbelievable stuff. So anyhow, her plight was not easy, and it's interesting. There's a quote of Toscanini said that he felt that she had a voice, a 1 in 100 years voice. So he really connected with her sound, and this is a particularly special. I think it's live, and it features Joseph Fuchs on the violin. Now he was a great fiddle player, and he played he played a lot of chamber music with Casals later on. And I know his recordings from the Prades festivals. And Lillian Fuchs was his sister. She was a viola player, and she recorded all the Bach cello suites on the viola. And she's a wonderful viola player. But Joseph and Lillian Fuchs were remarkable musicians, and his violin playing here is just divine. It's so beautiful, and he does a little bit of improvising in the part as well. But he does it so tastefully, and it's quite special. Yeah.
Well, the violin obbligato is so important in this piece, isn't it?
It is. It's the commentary.
It's enormously important.
It is.
It is a commentary, yes.
Yes, it is. It's sort of it's a part of the spirit, I think, that's sort of
it adds to the pathos of it immensely.
It does. Absolutely, it does. So, look, let's have a listen to this. A recording from 1946. It's Marian Anderson, and with the RCA Victor Chamber Orchestra.
Oh, I'm looking forward to this. Good.
It was Marian Anderson singing Obama by Bach, recording from June 1946. And you're listening to VK3.
That was gorgeous.
Yeah, it was. It was quite special. And
I'm very attracted to that. Such a voice, I think. It's very special voice.
Yeah, definitely, Frank. I think there's a very dark quality to that voice.
I know. I love it.
And it's so personable. Something that sort of, I don't know, it has a sort of effect on me to what Kathleen Ferrier's voice does.
Yes. Look, that's absolutely right.
I sort of equate them a bit because there's something quite prescient. But there's something so unpretentious about that interpretation. This the way she placed the beat. There was no sort of no rush. No, what was I trying to say? She's not trying to overblow everything. It's very sometimes singers slightly exaggerate, or they you can hear that they've got designs, but there was something very naturally felt, very
it's almost trying too hard what you're talking about, isn't it?
Yeah, sometimes it's like that, but in this instance it's such a natural utterance. It's like speaking.
Yeah. Was
and weeping,
Yes.
It had that incredibly personal quality to it, and that I thought was really remarkable. And and I have to listen to a lot more. Some of the singers need to hear more Marian Anderson.
I must get some more Marian. Must get some Marian Anderson. She, our teacher in primary school, my music teacher, loved Marian Anderson. This is back in the 50s, and he used to play her. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I don't know whether she had a big recorded repertoire then. She had the Negro spirituals. And that was sort of that was her party piece,
Sure, yeah. I'm not aware of that many recordings. I'll need to investigate, find out. She lived to a very ripe age. She died in 1993, and she was born in 1890. Yeah, she was born in 1897. So,
wow, she's about 96.
Yeah, thereabouts. Yeah.
Was it you that played the doco? There was a very good doco on her.
I probably did.
I think you did. Oh, look, it was terrific, and that's where I heard. Yeah. I first heard that the Toscanini's assessment of her about voice in 100 years.
That's right. I did play a doco. It was a while ago. Yeah, it's one of the early emissions. That's true. I'll have to revisit that.
That was terrific.
But and I love the way that Mr. Fuchs played the trills on the.
Yeah, beautiful.
Wasn't it just so graceful and so?
It was
it
perfect, wasn't it?
It was. It was just a little bit. Just gave a particular poignancy to the opening of that figure. But
that's right.
Yeah, I loved it. So there we go. That's Marian Anderson. So
lovely.
Well, where to go to? There's all sorts of interesting.
I think I know where we're going to finish up.
So do I. There's another very great recording with the Christa Ludwig with Klemperer in 1962, and she, I think she sings a bit fast. I'm not sure, but this is worth listening to. I can't help but play the whole thing through.
No, go on.
So this is good too. So this is quite a famous early recording of the Passion, and this is the just this aria in isolation here on YouTube. So we'll have a listen to Christa Ludwig, and from 1962, vk3sl testing.
Very good. Wow.
Yeah, there we go.
It was lovely, and Krista was lovely, but it was a shame. I thought it was a shame she was so far off mic.
I know. It sounded like she was singing in the bathroom a bit, didn't it?
Just a bit, yeah. And the balance, with the orchestra was wrong to me.
Yes, likewise. I think it wasn't captured properly. It's probably one of those idiosyncratic recordings in the 60s.
Such a shame, but it didn't. You still got enough of her to sort of imagine how she would sound if you were hearing her close up.
That's right. You could appreciate the richness of her voice and
all of that. Yes, and how she's
huge voice and big concept. I mean, it's wonderful. But yes, there was as if they were recorded in a completely different ambience. The violin and the vocals, so a bit strange. But
it's a bit of a shame. Anyway, never mind. I wonder if you were listening to that in stereo, whether you could do something about that.
That's an interesting thought. Maybe something that didn't translate to a mono summing. That's a thought.
Yeah.
That could have been. I'll come back to it later and see, because some of those early ping pong stereos had that effect. That sounds like it's that one channel's in the distance. The violin in one ear and the vocal in the other. It could be something like that. That's an interesting point.
Yeah, it could be. Was it on Deutsche Grammophon? Do you know?
I'm not sure. Well, it's an upload, and I'm not sure what label it was on. So,
a lot of her stuff was on DGG. I know.
Yes,
we've got some.
Okay, sure.
And they don't usually mess things up, do they?
No, they don't. You're absolutely right. No, it's an EMI recording from 1962.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, they don't either, usually.
No, they don't. I don't know why. I can't imagine Walter Legg doing that. But
no. Look, it's not that bad. It's not,
But look, they did do some quirky things in the early 60s. You do get some strange, or in the 50s and 60s, some...
Yes, very true.
But anyhow, that's it's a historic recording with Klemperer and other great artists.
Yeah, lovely.
But well, look, we've got two we have to play.
yeah, that's right.
And we'll get to them very shortly. But I've just realised that there's a couple of things there. Someone's had a go at this, an electro version. I won't play it all. I'll just play just a snapshot. This is someone else's. I think it's just someone's personal project here. I don't think there's a lot of context to this. I don't know if it's even been released. No, it says released. It's a home-produced thing, but someone's had a crack at it. So let's just give this a Guernsey and just get another perspective on the work.
Right.
So what I might do is save that one for an afternoon missions, because that's quite fascinating.
Very good. It's very interesting.
It is.
That's the sort of thing, I could do.
Yeah.
My recording studio.
That's great.
The only thing is, I don't think I'd be game to play it to you.
Oh no, you have to. I'd love to hear it. No, you must. That's it's great.
Good on whoever did that.
Yeah, it's a good project. I think it works really well, and it's nice to hear it in a completely different guise, and. And I think Mr. Yaroslav, Mr. Kovarchik would approve.
Oh, he would. He certainly would.
It would have got the Parker Bell Cannon stamp. Did you hear that the other day?
Yes, that's right.
Oh, I had to
lovely.
drive my kids around everywhere, and I thought, what am I going to put on? And it'll last the distance for an hour and a half. And I found the Dreamtime with the Parker Bell Cannon.
With the Parker Bell, yes.
He did it. I think he did about three or four of those with multiple presentations.
He certainly milked all the possibilities of the Parker Bell Cannon.
He did. Absolutely.
It's always good to hear, Yaroslav. Always good.
Yeah, absolutely it is. Well, we'll feature that one. I'll put it on during the week for its entirety. There's some other really interesting ones out there as well. There's all sorts of fascinating versions. And another one I stumbled on was a version for 2 guitars.
Okay.
I'll just play a little bit of it. It's really quite fun.
Yeah, sure.
Let's have a listen to this. I'm not sure who the artists are. Yeah, it's a really effective blend they've got there with their instruments when they came in together.
Yes, they're playing very well together.
Yeah, it's lovely. 2 Belgian guitarists featured there.
Good on them.
Yeah,
Yes.
so that's quite enjoyable. And there's another one. There's so many. There's quite a few cello ones, but I thought I'd dispense with the cello this time. And this is one with Nigel Kennedy. This is very, very idiosyncratic, as you'd imagine.
Yeah.
And I'll just play the opening violin solo, and the oboe player is doing the tune on the oboe. So this is Mr. Kennedy and friends.
Yeah.
I'd just like to say how honoured I am to play for you guys tonight. It's always fantastic coming to Leipzig, but I've never played in such a situation. With the church behind us, where Bach, the man, belongs, we will do our best for you. Cool, man. Cool, man. Thank you.
just don't like fading these things out. But
that was surprisingly good, wasn't it?
Yeah, it is. And what a location at the marketplace in Leipzig with St. Thomas's in the background.
Yeah.
You think that's where it happened. Incredible. And yeah, Mr. Kennedy.
I told you I met the cantor of St. Thomas's.
Oh, you lucky person. How about that?
it was. I went to one of those cantata performances at St. John's, East Melbourne.
Yes. Oh gosh, and you got to meet the cantor at St. Thomas's.
I shook his hand.
Oh my goodness. Well, what a privilege.
So I've shaken the hand that's played the organ.
Yes.
That Bach played.
Bach. Well, there you go. That is wonderful. Absolutely marvellous. Well, yeah, it's yeah, anyhow, it's nice to hear just a couple of little sort of different takes on it. Now, we've got these two really iconic performances. We've got to play them both. And so it's the home stretch. Now, which do I play first? Do I play Eula Beale or Kathleen Ferrier? I don't know.
I'll go for Eula.
Okay, we'll play Eula and then we'll finish up with Kathleen. How's that sound?
Yes, I think that sounds good.
Yeah, all right. Well, this is, I mean, we've played this many times before, but I never get sick of it. I think it's just something so special. And the more I think about this, I think there's something incredibly vulnerable about Menuhin's playing here. I really sense his vulnerability, and with the violin part, and then there's something just so timelessly beautiful about Eula Beale's singing here. It's as if time stops for me. It's almost when I hear this, and I could never get sick of it. And I just want to hear more of her. I just yearn to hear what happened to what other recordings are there of Eula Beale, but there's virtually nothing at all.
What a shame.
It is. And look, she made the right decision for herself. She gave up her singing shortly after this was made to bring up a family. And that was it.
You are. Well,
yeah, so that was that's what she decided to do. So we just have these couple of recordings from this film in the mid 1940s, and that's the extent of it. But people she must be one of the greatest controllers of the century, I think. Yeah. So yeah, it's the pretext to this recording. vk3sl and vk3jr. there we go. That was Eulabil from the film Concert Magic.
I don't think I've heard that.
Haven't you? I've played it often on the
Have you?
at the ends of missions and things.
Yeah, well, I must have been asleep.
Okay. That's all right.
It's the first time I can. I know Eulabil. I remember you playing Eulabil.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well,
it's lovely. It's in English, of course, which is interesting, and it's in a different key.
Yes, I think it is. You're right. It is in a different key, and
that's nothing against it. It's just a difference.
And Menuhin is certainly something's not quite right. He's playing quite wooden there, but I really sense his vulnerability in this performance.
Yes.
It's interesting.
Was that when he was going through his bad patch?
Yes, it was, and he was going through an existential sort of crisis, I think, at that point.
Yes.
But look, I think it still works really, really well. And
it's beautiful.
It doesn't detract from me. I think that's one of the most astonishing performances I've ever heard.
Yeah. Look, it is.
Yeah.
I don't have a clear recollection. Obviously, I have heard it.
Yeah.
It's somehow slipped out of my.
That's okay. That's completely fine. I was interested. There's so much in it.
Yes.
She's just got this timeless quality to her voice, and she's very beautiful. And there's a very sort of, I don't know, something about her demeanour is quite powerful. And it says, someone's just posted on this. I'm looking at it now. It says, Eulabil was my mother, it says. Extraordinary. Married William Garnett in 1942, who became a world-famous aerial photographer. I hope to post more information on her in the future. Her voice is...
Where are you reading this from?
This is on YouTube. Someone's just put in the comments underneath that performance.
Good God, really?
Yeah, and he says his name's Don Garnett. He says her voice is missed by us all. How about that?
Yes.
Gosh.
Oh, that's amazing.
Isn't it?
Do you know, I thought for a second you were talking about somebody who's been listening to the missions.
No. That'd be good. But I don't think we quite get that far, unfortunately.
Not yet.
No. Well, when Mr. Stu gets his license, that'll we will.
That'll be superb. I hope he does.
I hope so too. There's a
very I think he will.
tantalising. I think he might. There's a tantalising prospect there, and that
have to support. Keep him up to us.
Yeah. It would be incredible. So that's on the cards. But anyhow, there we go. That was Eulabil, and
thank you so much for reintroducing me to Eula singing that, because it's just beautiful.
Yeah, she's beautiful. She's wonderful. She's so special, and I just find that. But look, I think the one to finish up with is the one we both know and we both listened to many times, and I think there's something about Kathleen Ferrier's voice which is otherworldly as well, and there's something...
Again, a vulnerability, isn't there?
Yeah, and that's a very special quality in an artist that you don't often see, and you don't see it in a very humble human with humility and it's that self-effacing, altruistic sort of thing. So when you hear an artist with that level of self-reflection, it's very, very powerful, and you certainly hear that with Kathleen Ferrier. There's something quite again timeless and exquisitely beautiful and heartfelt. So
very much so. I think in the doco on her that we there are a couple, I think you can tell in the way she speaks to people, as those around her, that she is totally, humble in the best sense of the word. Absolutely, hardly even aware of how good she is.
That's exactly it. She doesn't have any ego or any. There's none of that. No hubris, or it's just this gentle personal dignity that really shines through for someone who's quietly self-assured, but at the same time projecting their vulnerabilities. It's they're remarkable human qualities, and you don't hear it very often in any situation. But I think in her with Kathleen Ferrier, it's something. It tugs at the heartstrings. It goes to the very core of what it means to be human, I think.
I'm sure it does.
Yeah, so look, that'll be a lovely way to finish. So we won't back announce it. I think I'll let it ride. And then,
all right.
So look, Frank, thank you. It's been the most wonderful suggestion, and it's really,
thank you.
It's just I could listen to this a million times and never get sick of it.
That's the thing.
I haven't fatigued in the slightest listening to the multitude of.
Same.
It's a piece that's just so alive, and it was a great topic. So thank you.
Well, thank you for doing the hard work.
No worries. I know it wasn't hard work. It was fun. It's good fun. And look, we'll certainly be back, and we'll keep in touch. And thanks to the listeners. And we'll look forward to your company next time. So
likewise, indeed.
All right then, Frank. Keep well.
Take care, Steve.
And have a really good week. Okay,
all the best to you.
Yeah,
also.
And to you. So here we have Kathleen Ferrier singing Bach's Barmadig from Sir Matthew Passion, a recording made, I think, in 1950, June 1950. vk3sl and vk3jr saying cheers.
vk3jr saying cheers.